So listen, the facts in this case are largely unremarkable, right? I mean, there's a real estate professional case every month. This isn't groundbreaking, but it's awesome reaffirmation of, again, what I've been seeing in practice. So you got this guy, Hackett, he's an attorney. Now, right away, right, people who work in the real estate professional space, like you and I, radar goes off and we
Mm-hmm.
know this is a problem. Because as I always say, there's no faster way to an IRS audit than to be someone who has a full-time job in the non-real estate world claiming to be a real estate pro. Because that more than half test, the whole reason it exists is to keep attorneys and CPAs and doctors and educators from being real estate pros, right? If you have a full-time gig in the non-real estate world, good luck passing that more than half test. That right away, like, my hackles go up when I see it's an attorney. I know this case ain't going to go well. But that's actually not necessarily what doomed him. Okay. So he had significant income on Schedule C and Schedule E. He was really the only attorney in his business. So it's not like he could attribute the income to somebody else's efforts. But long story short, he owned a couple big commercial rental properties with some of his siblings. But they hired management companies to take care of all the heavy lifting with these rental properties, right? And so what happened that he did that I don't know I've ever seen is he reported his rental losses as passive, which we would expect. But he reported his attorney income as passive so that the two could net each other. And the IRS came in and said, come on, like your income from being an attorney, this isn't passive income. Like you're there every day working, it's non-passive. So he said, okay, well, if my attorney income is non-passive, guess what? My rental losses are also non-passive because I forgot to tell you I'm a real estate professional who materially participates in my rentals. So they said, all right, well, prove it. Give me your hours. So he worked up, some handwritten calendars that showed that, hey, according to the numbers, he got where he needed to be. Well, at least in terms of the 750 hours, because he got to 1,500 hours in one year, 700 in the other, and he claimed those hours exceeded his hours as an attorney. Okay, two problems. Number one, he couldn't substantiate how much time he spent as an attorney. And so, that's a bad start. They want you to prove you passed the more than half test, not just say that you do. But number two, and this is where the PSA comes in for this case and why I thought it was such an important one to talk about. When he put down these hours that comprise these 1,500 for one year, 700 for the next, the description he used were things that you would expect to see if all the day-to-day management was being taken care of by a management company. It was things like analyzing the financials, reviewing the bank statements, lowering energy use. Okay, why does this matter, Damien? It matters because are those hours spent on a rental property? Absolutely they are. But are they hours that count towards the 750 test and the more than half test? And this is why I have this problem every single time somebody calls me and says, look, I want to be a real estate pro because I got some other income I want to offset, but I ain't swinging a hammer, right? I'm not working on a toilet. I'll hire a management company for all that stuff. I just want to oversee everything. Well, if you look at the regs, right, 469-9B4, and then ultimately ending up in dash 5T2, 2 little I, it makes really clear that, listen, when we talk about these hours that you get to count towards these tests, right, you only get to count your hours in a capacity of being an investor if you're also involved in the day-to-day management of the property. And so if
Mm-hmm.
you're not, if you're hiring a management company, then the hours you spend doing your high level investment, right, they mean nothing. They're completely useless to you. And I don't think enough people understand that. And I certainly know enough taxpayers don't understand that because probably once a month, someone calls me and says, I need to be a real estate pro. I'm going to buy up a bunch of properties. I'm going to hire someone else to handle everything, but I'll take care of the high level work. And you have to break it to them like, that's not how it works. And so I have some people who just called me who, when they came to understand that, said, okay, well, I'm willing to actually buy an interest in a management company that's going to oversee these properties and I'll be part of the management company. It's like, okay, then we're on to something. But to just say, I'm going to oversee my rental operations, but let someone else handle the day to day, you're not going to get there, right? We learned that in a case called Padilla several years ago, where you can't have your cake and eat it too, right? If you want to be a real estate pro, you got to get down and dirty in the management of these rentals, or else these investor type hours don't count. And so with Hackett, they made pretty short work at him, right? Because number one, they said, come on, man, like you had significant income from your legal practice. And we're supposed to believe, I think he said he was working something like 3 hours a day, 3 days a week, or something like that. And they said, we're supposed to believe that. And they said, more importantly, the hours that you said you spent on the rental property, realistically, like they're investor type hours, right? Overseeing the financials, reviewing bank statements, lowering energy use. You're not doing the day to day stuff, so none of the hours count. And again, in a normal year, I might have said, there might be a better real estate pro case out there, Damien, but I'd heard that inclination from so many people around the country that they want to be a real estate pro, but don't want to get involved with the day-to-day management. And we have to be warning people that that's not how the law is designed to work.